I first went to West Africa and the country of Niger in 1993, and I was struck by the poverty that existed in Niger. It's the second poorest country of the world, and you can't help being impacted by just observing that. The problems in Africa are so massive that you can go and you say they're so massive, there's nothing we can do. Or you can say they are massive, but we have a responsibility, we have a duty, and even if it's just a small step, we have an obligation to do that.
When you look at what we have, an appreciation for what we have just isn't there in most people. You just have to travel to one of these countries and experience what they have and realize the need. And that's the key, is to realize the vast difference in the quality of life.
The concept of nothing, I didn't know what that meant until I went to West Africa. And notwithstanding having nothing, the joy, the happiness that you see in these people is it's astounding. I mean, everywhere you go, kids come up, they don't have, they have rags basically for clothes, and they just have so much joy that's being expressed on their face.
Singing, thank you very much.
When we do these little things of building a modest school or seeing the medical clinic becoming a reality, and you see the true joy that you bring to this community with such modest improvements by our North American standards, it gives us hope that these initiatives that we start on the ground can be sustainable and will be long-term.
We can do this because we're involved with Rotary, and Rotary helps around the world. And with friends such as Etruscan, it gives us a method to do this work.
It's almost unconscionable that we would move into an area, build a campsite, build kitchen facilities, try to provide high-quality food for our staff, and then maybe within a kilometer away are people living in mud huts, women having to travel 18 kilometers to find proper drinking water for their family. It's unconscionable that we could be in that kind of environment and ignore that kind of a situation.
Here, our life expectancy is well into the 80s. There, a resident can expect to live to 44 years. If a child who was born in Burkina Faso or Niger makes it to 5, they're halfway there. The chances of them dying within the first 5 years is large. It's like 50%. So we talk about trouble here. We have no trouble. We're a rich country. We can afford to help these people.
One of the first places we went in Niger was a place called Kumabangu, and I remember returning after a couple of years of operation, and when we were about to move on, and they had a bit of a reception, and I met with the chief of the village, and the chief spoke to me through an interpreter that even though we were leaving, the name of Etruscan was forever etched in the history of their tribe, because he had many sons. And he said that all of his life he was never able to write his name. He always had to put a mark. And his kids now could write.
It really puts it in perspective. We have no problems. it's a wonderful place to live, and I think that Canadians, we have to give, and we have to help them along the way. Many organizations are doing this. It's a wonderful thing. It's something that we should all have in our hearts and minds.
For me personally, and I think for a lot of people in the company, it's the pride that we have and the sense of real satisfaction that we are, even though it's modest, we are making a very significant impact in helping these communities improve their standard of living. And when we look back at that, I have no doubt that for me personally, that'll be, I know now, that's what gives me the greatest satisfaction.